This episode is brought to you by Roon. Roon 1.8 is an immersive new music experience featuring a new look, new intelligence, and new features designed for music fanatics. Click the link in the description box below for more information.
Last week, I sat here and looked longingly at my hi-fi rack, full of gear, just lots of gear in my hi-fi rack, and I couldn't help but think that this hobby, hi-fi, is all about the music. Snapping me out of this daydream was my doorbell. It was the FedEx guy, and he just pulled up in front of my house. And he was even more excited than I was. Normally, I'm super excited when the FedEx truck pulls up with a new piece of gear, but this guy, he was on another level of excitement. Why? Because on board, he had a pair of Buchardt S400 MKII. For our €2,000 for the Buchardt S400 MKII, we get not one, but two speakers. Amazing. On each speaker, there is a tweeter, which I think is less than an inch. There is also a mid-bass driver, which measures 6 inches across. But that's not all. On the back, there is an 8-inch passive radiator. 8 inches. That's 2 more than 6. Now, technically speaking, this loudspeaker is a bookshelf loudspeaker. Now, I'm sorry, I didn't have a bookshelf to hand, so I had to use the stands that Buchardt sent me. They're custom stands, which sell for, I think, €400 per pair. And you can see them behind me. You can see the speakers on the Buchardt stands. And I hooked up these speakers to my trusty Audiolab 6000 A-Play integrated amplifier. Now, the first album out of the gate was Daft Punk's Random Access Memories. I love this album. When I'm sitting here enjoying the music with my eyes closed, it's just incredible. But when I played it through the Bucharts for the first time, I was thrust back into my chair by the prodigious amount of bass on display. And the treble here is super, super sweet. And that doesn't happen as much as you might think it does when playing Niels Lofgren's Keith Don't Go. I mean, I love this song. I truly love it. And every time I go to a hi-fi show, I ask them to play it. And they usually oblige. It's amazing. I just cannot get enough of this song. And the Bucharts didn't even break a sweat when playing the Eagles' Hotel California. Not the album version, the Hell Freezes Over unplugged version. Again, another song that I just cannot get enough of, and another one that I always request at hi-fi shows and they usually oblige. And listening to the Eagles, the Bucharts just drew me into the music. And they just made me forget all about doing a hi-fi review. A bit like when I go to a great restaurant and the food is so good, it just makes me forget that I'm sitting in a restaurant. To that end, in playing Joe Bonamassa's Drive, an amazing blues track, to that end, all I could really hear from the Bucharts was a straight wire with gain. You might say that the Buchardt S400 MKII simply get out of the way of the music. Or maybe you could say that they leave nothing but me and the music, because it's all about me. We should talk about the all-important sound staging that these speakers throw. Because sound staging here is so wide that I had to go out onto my balcony on the right-hand side to hear what the rest of the right speaker was doing, and then into the hallway that runs alongside my apartment here to hear the remainder of what the left channel was doing. I've never had to do that before. And it's so deep that my neighbour came over to complain that she could hear London Grammar popping up like a 3D hologram inside her apartment because she's just behind the front wall here. She said that London Grammar were getting in the way of her TV. Now, when Olaf came over last week, I was playing some Boz Skaggs through these loudspeakers. The song is called Thanks to You. It's a real toe tapper. And Olaf was like, what have you done to the hi-fi system? It sounds so amazing. And I was like, dude, Buchardt S400 MKII. Now, Dave Brubeck's Take 5 is another track that I just cannot get enough of. It's another track that I always request at hi-fi shows, and they always play for me. They're very kind. It's a wonderful experience. And playing that for the Buchardts, I heard accuracy that I'd not heard since the last speaker that I reviewed, which means that these Buchardt loudspeakers are uncoloured in every way possible. They are true to source. Of course, your mileage may vary. But hang on a minute, because when I played Stevie Ray Vaughan's Tin Pan Alley, I heard a warmth and a tubiness that really, to me, made the S400 MKII sound so analog. And in that sense, the Buchardt's musicality, I think, is an 11 out of 10. They are so musical. But the Buchardt's, they don't favour any particular genre of music. They sound just as good with Diana Krall as they do with Steely Dan, as they do with Pink Floyd. And if you want playlists for this video or my other videos, then you need to head on over to Patreon, where I put playlists of the music that I mention in these videos and the music that you hear in the interludes. Now, what about comparisons? Well, we don't need those to tell us that the S400 MKII punch well above their weight, or that they compete with loudspeakers 2 or 3 times the price. So what that means is that this stand mount from Darko.Audio, the latest S400 version, is a complete giant killer. And it comes highly, highly recommended. Look at this. I lost a sub bass leaf. One of the acoustic panels fell down. Well, rather the inset of the acoustic panel, not the whole structure. But anyway, the foam fell down. It bumped off the loudspeaker. Thankfully, it didn't knock the loudspeaker off the stand. And it knocked a leaf off my fiddle leaf fig. So the bass in my room now is just a little bit diminished. Anyway, if you like this video, please hit the like button down below. If you like my attitude towards high-end audio, in that not everything has to be super serious, but these Buchardt speakers, deadly serious. If you dig that, please subscribe to this channel, and as always, thank you ever so much for watching. Snapping. God, yeah. Calm, John. Now let me do that again. This day was extra exciting. No, I can't do it. Try again. Okay. Niels Lofgren. Oh God. Niels Lofgren's. Oh God.
More of that.
Mm-hmm. And the Buchardts didn't even break a sweat when playing. No. You might, or that it competes with loudspeakers 2 or 3 times the price. Even though I'm not going to tell you what they are, it definitely does that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be annoying for you, because it's just hard to get this out of my mouth, you know? It is. Okay, here we go, let's try again. And on Dave Brubeck's Take 5, another track that I cannot get enough of, you might say...